Back on OpenLine here, we are talking about medical malpractice. And I tell you, we're here with Clint Kelly from the Kelly firm. A lot of you calling in, and one of the things that's always so nice, like we were saying just before the break, is when you share your stories, it helps other people to learn from. There are certain mistakes that can be made, like not calling within the year, and it helps, I know, other people to hear that there is that statute of limitations. So I love it when people call. We do have a busy phone line. When you do explain your situation, because our phone lines are busy, if you could be as succinct as possible, that will help us all out. So we're going back to the lines right now. Brian is on the line with us. Brian, good evening. Do you have a question or a comment for Clint?
Yeah, good evening to you both. I have a question for Attorney Kelly.
Okay.
You know, you see the national attorney firms that always have a claim about medical devices or some type of drug that is later on found out to cause problems. One of the newest one I've seen is anti-acid medication. Nexium follows that, anti-digestion medications like that they're saying now causes kidney problems, and I wanted to see was there any relevance to that, because I use those products on a regular basis. And also, second, as far as extending the statute of limitations, I've called my state legislator about that. He's a Democrat, and he said he has already lobbied for that. But right now, the Republicans are making it hard for anything except the 1-year statute of limitations in the House of Legislation in Tennessee. And if you could address that also. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Brian.
As far as the Nexium and Propulsid potential litigation, it's proton inhibitors, and I believe the allegation is that somehow it can cause kidney damage or some sort of renal impairment. Brian, unfortunately, I am not familiar with the basis of the claims other than you do see the national firms advertising for them, and what they're doing is they're recruiting cases. That's what they do. They try to recruit as many cases as they can to create so many, let's just call it a big bag or wave of cases, and then they can go into court with these cases and use them as leverage to try to get them settled. There may be merit to it, there may not be. There's a lot of people that use Nexium. My wife's used Nexium before, so it's concerning when you see these ads, but I wish I could tell you more, Brian. I don't, because it's just too new. I haven't been to one of those seminars. The statute of limitations issue, Brian is absolutely right, and it's very unfortunate. The way that our government right now is controlled by Republicans, and in particular people who protect hospitals and insurance companies, they are not going to extend the statute of limitations because in their judgment they believe that will result in more people getting their day in court. More people get their day in court, that means more claims means more money paid out, and they want to keep the doors shut on the court as tight as possible. So until there is a major political change, I don't see the statute of limitation being extended. So people like Christie and Renee and others who may have had claims, they're never going to get their day in court because the year is going to stay the year.
Yeah, well, and that's a shame, but it does help, like you say, you know, there may have to be a major political shift, but it helps when people make sure that their voices are heard. So, Brian, thank you very much for calling. So we're going back to the lines. Like I said, very busy on the lines tonight. Pamela, what is on your mind?
Yes, my father had passed away in January from okay, I'm sorry. I didn't realize that TV was going to do that.
All right.
Anyhow, he had decided he wanted to go on and be with the Lord, but my mother didn't. She had developed pneumonia, and she had to go into the hospital for an IV. And while she was there, they were real nice to her the first 2 days. But then this one particular head nurse had come through started acting funny toward my mother, and she would like do this whirling like mother was senile, and she wasn't. They all thought that mother wanted to go on and be with the Lord, too, because Daddy left. But have you noticed that it always gets noisy when you get on the phone? Sorry, I'm trying.
Oh, that's okay. And Pamela, just in the interest of time, I apologize. But so if you could if you could get to where we need to go, okay?
The day that she came into my mother's room, had already been told not to give the pill laying down because Mother had choking issues. The nurse gave her a pill, a stomach pill, and between that and water, she got to coughing. And the nurse just kept standing there. I kept begging her to come help me with my mom. She acted like Mother was pretending. When we finally got Mother set up, and she still hadn't took a breath through all of that because the pill was caught, she held her hand on each side of my mother's shoulder. That's all she did on continuing to help. And Mother, I guess, tightened her hand up because the last of her breath gave out then, and her heart stopped.
I'm sorry.
And I had to call the cold blue. I'm trying not to be emotional, but I don't know how not to be. And so twice the doctors would stop in their restoration to ask me, was I sure Mother would want this? And I said, certainly she wouldn't want to die of a choking on a pill that she doesn't even take it home. And the nurse wouldn't help me. And so while they were still doing it, I had knelt down and grabbed her hand to pray. And I noticed they didn't have the backboard under her. And so each time they would stop the compressions, her heart would stop. So when the doctor, yelled at the nurses, and, because it wasn't under her back, they had to put it under her back. But after that, she got her heartbeat back. But they had to move her into ICU. And we got 2 times of her shaking her head, yes and no, before all of her organs, even the brain, had started shutting down because they said with that long list without oxygen. So on the 20th, we had to have our second funeral because my mama passed away 9 days after we buried my daddy.
I'm so sorry, Pamela.
And the whole purpose is you can't get a doctor's letter. They call it a letter of, I'm not sure what they call it, but without it, you can't even get a court date. You can't even take it to court. But I think that woman needs to lose her license, and the hospital needs to be fined and get everybody retrained because they were messing up on the resuscitation. I had to feel like Mama died because I didn't remember how to help her.
And I know that's so hard. What happens in a situation? What's your advice?
First of all, I think, Pamela, you ought to call the office tomorrow morning and ask to speak to my nurse consultant. Her name's Kathy Farrell, and go through the background. Now, you're going to need to try to keep it together emotionally to go through the history, because I'm sure there's important information that you've got to be able to provide in order for me to make a judgment on this, because I can't tell if your mom, if she died because of the pill, if she died because of some other complications. Hard for me to tell, and right now it's going to be a very delicate issue to deal with personally. But please call in the morning, because I can't make a judgment like that on TV without knowing more of the facts. But I or someone from my office will get back to you after you've given that background, and we'll let you know what we think.
And Pamela,
Okay,
the number, can we give you the number? Yeah, it's 615-824-3703. So that's 615-824. It's on the screen right there. So Pamela, we are sorry. I know it's been a tough time. So give them a call first thing tomorrow.
All right. Thanks, you very
Pamela.
much.
Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. We are going to take a short break. Again, we have a lot of callers online with us. Stay on the line. We really appreciate your patience. We'll take this break, and we'll be back with more Open Line right after this.